Hi everyone, it's Kavithi here. Welcome back to my channel. I'm headed off to Shanghai for vacation and I'm taking you guys along with me. I got to the Shanghai airport and right now I'm waiting for a taxi to take me to the hotel. Taxi's here, let's move along. I'm at the hotel, let me do a room tour for you. First things first, I got out of my plain outfit, got refreshed and straight away headed out of the hotel for a city tour. While I waited for the taxi to take me to the main city area, there was this pastry shop. I checked it out, they had some good stuff, but I needed more of a proper solid meal, so I got into the taxi and headed off. Most taxis there had this TV situation at the back going on and this one had cartoons going on, so that was pretty interesting, and I think at one point they played SpongeBob as well. On the way to the main city, I got to see the Shanghai Tower, which you guys can see here as well. It is a mega tall skyscraper and the tallest building in China and one of the world's tallest buildings by height to architectural top. Then we have the Oriental Pearl Tower, which you guys can see here, which apparently stood as China's tallest building until 2007, but now it's one of the world's tallest TV and radio towers with a revolving restaurant and a sightseeing deck. After catching sight of those pretty cool stuff, I headed off to eat. There's this soup dumpling place that I really wanted to try, so that was the spot for lunch. Along with the soup dumplings, 2 bowls of ramen were also ordered, but my highlight was the soup dumplings. It was really good. You guys can see after a messy start, I devoured it and was craving more. Also, this was my first time trying out glass noodles. After lunch, I wanted something warm because it was a bit cold outside. There was this boba bubble tea spot at a place adjoining the restaurant, so I got some taro boba from there and then straight away got into the city sightseeing bus to take me around the cool spots of the city. The first thing I did was the Huangpu River cruise, which takes you along the Huangpu River, which is the biggest river in central Shanghai. Whilst on this ride, I got to take a proper look at Shanghai's skyscrapers, and it was a beautiful sight because you got to see Shanghai lit up by the city lights. The next Shanghai place that I headed off to once I got down from the ferry was to visit the Bund. Apparently missing the Bund when visiting Shanghai is like bypassing the Great Wall when visiting Beijing, so I had to go here. It's an iconic landmark of Shanghai and the area around the Bund is the tourist center of Shanghai. The Bund has all these classical Renaissance buildings on one side and these buildings have various international architectural designs, so that makes Bund an exhibition of international buildings, and it simply gives us a glimpse into the ancient times of Shanghai with all these Renaissance styled buildings. But a glimpse of the future of Shanghai is also here because on the other end we get to see all the Shanghai skyscrapers. Basically, the Bund, if you look at it, is a mix of the ancient past and the future of Shanghai in a nutshell. Linking the Bund with the People's Square is the East Nanjing Road, and the Nanjing Road is in the eastern part of what is the main shopping district of Shanghai, and that is where I am right now. It is one of the world's busiest shopping streets, and actually the first department stores in China opened up here when the modern machine age hit in, where all these new products, automobiles and Art Deco stylings came in. This road is a glowing forest of neon at night, and I got to see that with my own eyes. Shanghai's reputation as the country's most fashionable city was also forged in part here through all the new styles and trends which were introduced in the department stores. Today, shops such as the vast Apple store dominates the shopping landscape here, and there are also these small train tourist buses which you can see here, which rolls from one pedestrianized end to the other. For dinner that night, I tried out the McDonald's there. I took the Mac to go because I had a very exciting day of Disneyland coming up the next day, so I wanted to get a good night's rest at the hotel. And now you're joined with me on the next day. I'm headed off to Disneyland and I'm taking you guys along with me. I have finally arrived at Disneyland and I'm so excited. They had a sign placed up there if you wanted to head off to the Disney resort, and also there were stalls here as well selling headbands all Disney themed. I didn't get one because I already had a Minnie Mouse one with me, which I really liked. The walk from the main gates of Disney to the entrance area was kind of long, but I didn't mind it as I got to get a long view glimpse of the enchanted castle, as you guys can see here. Very soon I'll be sharing very close-up views of this Disney castle, so stay tuned. And finally, here I am. These are the views you're hit by as soon as you enter Disney. This is Minnie Mouse. She was signing her autograph here because this kid presented a book to her. I think she was having a hard time because with her gloves it was a bit difficult for her, but she very cutely and funnily somehow managed it, and I was staring at that. And then I got to take a picture with her as well. If you guys are following me on my Instagram, which is at Kavithi, or you can follow me up on my TikTok as well, you'll be seeing all the reels and posts that I shared. So head over there to see more of my journey. And this right here is the Enchanted Castle. So the Enchanted Storybook Castle has welcoming majestic towers that soar to the skies, and this fantastical place brings legendary Disney storytelling to life. I am now inside of the castle, and they have built it so beautifully. There were all these pictures of the princesses up on the walls which you could take pictures with. The first experience of Disneyland that I tried was the Once Upon a Time adventure, where you get to step through the magic mirror and enter an enchanted dimension of wonder, where you can see Snow White's fairy tale world unfold in front of your eyes in a sort of 3D version. This was a nice spot to start my Disneyland journey with. Having watched Snow White's life unfold, I am now leaving the castle, and back down the castle steps I go. So outside of the castle there were all these stands selling Disney themed stuff. You could find these stands sporadically spread out through Disneyland. As I exited the castle, the sun had come out a bit, so it was a bit warm, hence I needed some water, and it felt the right moment to have an ice cream. There were these ice creams that were Disney themed. There was one that was called the Mickey's Ice Cream Classic. So I got one of those as well as a water bottle and took a mini break before jumping on all the other things that Disneyland had to offer. Near to where I was enjoying my ice cream, I saw Winnie the Pooh, and is hands down one of the best characters here in terms of cuteness. So right where Winnie the Pooh was, that area of land was dedicated to the theme of Winnie the Pooh. So this particular place called the 100-acre Court. So I went inside and I found all souvenir items of Winnie the Pooh, like cute teddy bears. Then there were mugs, hats, and all sorts of items. Okay, so now I'm starting off with the fun and exciting things at Disneyland, the rides. So starting off, I headed off to the first ride that I was gonna try, which was the Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, where you get to race around through the diamond mine from Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs on an adventurous family roller coaster. This is actually a pretty cool ride. It was quite fast and very fun. This ride was pretty challenging to film because in my mind I thought it was going to be a gentle one, but it turned out to be quite a fast one. After that ride takes you on all these twists and turns. Now we've entered into the diamond mine area. You can see all the dwarves and the diamonds, and it's this blacked out space with just the diamonds shining through. It was pretty chilling, but quite a fast and fun ride to start things off with. Next up, I dove into the land of Pirates of the Caribbean, and there's this ride here called Pirates of the Caribbean Battle for the Sunken Treasure, where you get to join Captain Jack for a monster meeting, treasure seeking, and a high seas adventure. But unfortunately, this ride was closed for maintenance, so instead I strolled down these streets that was Pirates of the Caribbean themed. While strolling through the streets, I came across the pirate's ship, which you could access, so I headed off there and explored that around a bit. You can probably see a canoe in the distance, and I actually found out that it is an activity here in itself, which I tried out as well, so stay tuned for that. On the theme of Pirates of the Caribbean, I'm now headed off to the Eye of the Storm Captain Jack's Stunt Spectacular, where you can catch Captain Jack in action live on stage with some very high energy stunts. I enjoyed the latter part of the show, this section where they got into the stunt side of things. The start, of course, was not my cup of tea, but it got better towards the end, and yeah, overall a good show. Now we're headed to one of my favorite rides here called Soaring Over the Horizon. Basically, you're transported into a thrilling ride around the world to view the planet's most breathtaking sights. It's sort of an around the world in a couple of minutes kind of ride where I was taken through Egypt, India, Fiji, to name a few places, and it was such a cool experience. Unfortunately, I didn't film it because it's one of those rides you've got to be in the moment to experience. Next up, we have the Roaring Rapids, where it is a rafting expedition. You have to hang on tight as they plunge you through some powerful currents. I decided not to do this ride because I already did it at a theme park in Chengdu, so it was a ride that I could skip. On the topic of water rides, I however tried this, which is called the Explorer Canoes. It's where you have to climb a board and head off for an adventure as you paddle through uncharted tropical water waves around the Treasure Cove and the Adventure Isle. So basically you get to canoe through Disneyland. This was the ride that you guys actually saw from afar while I was on the pirate ship, and now I'm finally here trying it out for myself. After trying out that ride, I strolled through Disneyland. There was a Meet Mickey station where you can meet Mickey Mouse. Cinderella was around the corner as well, taking pictures with everyone. Then it was time for lunch. For lunch, there's this place called the Pinocchio Village Kitchen right here, which serves lunch items all Disney themed, but I couldn't go there as that restaurant was fully booked up by another party. So I headed off to this other place called the Lotso, and that was situated at Andy's Backyard Games. That's Mr. Potato Head right there. Right here I tried out the lunch items. There you go, the Toy Story Alien Hawaiian Pizza, which was really good. Then here we have the Lotso Strawberry Cheesecake, the Lotso Strawberry Shaved Ice, the Vanilla Flavored Ice Cream Cone, and this is the other one I tried, which is a Sichuan Spicy Chicken with potato chip. I got some milkshakes as well, and I enjoyed my lunch with the view of Mr. Potato Head. After lunch was done, I headed off for the parade. So the parade is a very anticipated and much awaited activity here, where it's not an activity, it's more of an entertainment, where all the Disney characters line up and they parade through the streets. So you get to see everyone from Mickey Mouse, Winnie the Pooh, literally everyone at Disney. All the characters come together and they put on a show, which was really nice. It was very nostalgic to watch them roam through the streets. I mean, it takes you back to the times when you watched all these Disney shows, and I really enjoyed this part of things. After the parade was done, it was time to continue with the ride, so I headed off to Peter Pan's Flight and tried that out. It's a roller coaster, not a fast one at all. It's a very slow, smooth one where you drift through the enchanted skies to the land of Peter Pan, Tinkerbell and the Neverland Gang. This right here, what I'm trying out now, is called the Voyage to the Crystal Grotto. It's a gentle boat ride that pays tributes to the classical tales of Disney. As you take the boat ride, you can see most of the iconic Disney characters built up as statues to pay tribute to them. Now it's time to step into the land of Alice in Wonderland. This is the Alice in Wonderland maze, where you have to wind your way through the maze of Alice's Wonderland World to attend the delightful Mad Tea Party. Now we're heading into the Marvel Universe, and here you can capture pictures with superheroes like Captain America, Iron Man and Spider-Man. You can also virtually try on an Iron Man suit yourself, then learn how to control repulsors, fire away at the Hulk and at an army of enemies to protect the city. I didn't do all that, but I did catch some pictures with some superheroes. This is Tomorrowland, and this is a part of Disney that I tried out during the latter end of the night. Tomorrowland is basically one of the many themed lands featured at Disney, and the whole idea behind Tomorrowland is that it has views of the future. It was very nicely built. It's almost like you are in a different world over there. At Tomorrowland, you enter into the digital side of things. Here I am at the Tron Realm Chevrolet Digital Challenge. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Basically, you get to discover an interactive wonderland where cyber drivers experience the fusion of Chevrolet vehicles with cutting-edge technology from the world of Tron. But what I'm most excited to try out here is the Tron Light Cycle Power Run. I have seen this ride pretty famous on social media, so I was so excited to finally try it out myself, and it ranks as possibly the best ride for me here. Maybe the best or maybe the second best, I cannot decide. So basically you sync the pedal to a motor metal while twisting, turning and riding for your life in the cyber-fi world of Tron. It's out of a motorcycle where you have to get on and it takes you through a roller coaster. So yeah, it was really fast and it had all these twists and turns which was very exciting, and I thoroughly enjoyed this ride. Next up, I headed off to Mickey's Storybook Adventure, and this was played out at the Walt Disney Theatre. So Mickey's Storybook Adventure is a brand new live theatre performance now showing at Shanghai Disneyland. A fantastical library is brought to the stage where Mickey and Goofy finds this magic book that spirals them into the worlds of adventure and happiness, and basically that's the theme of things. This extravaganza features classic Disney songs and includes appearances by 23 beloved Disney characters. So when Mickey and Goofy discovers this magical library, they do not expect to see Olaf popping out from the pages of this magical book. And the challenge is that Olaf must return to his story before he melts, and it counts on whether Mickey and Goofy are up to the challenge. You get to dive into 13 wildly loved Disney tales and experience performances of classic Disney songs. There are special appearances from favorite Disney characters like Moana, Mulan, Rapunzel from Tangled, Tiana from The Princess and the Frog, Gazelle and Judy from Zootopia, and in an epic finale you have Anna and Elsa from Frozen. Then you finally see the worlds that you read in the storybooks unfolding right in front of your eyes, so it's pretty cool. This was the one before the last experience I enjoyed at Disney, and now I'm headed off to the most iconic one, which is the Disney fireworks. And if you head to Disneyland, you cannot miss this. It's the most magical part of Disney and a proper end to the night. You could find all the people gathered even 1 hour before this started because they were anticipating it so much. Waiting for this till the end of the day was extremely worth it. The way that they put the Disney fireworks and have it come to life is they use state-of-the-art technology and they wove it into a performance of light and shadow, creating this magical display. The show uses projection mapping, pyro, flames, fountains, lasers and lighting to give a really immersive experience. And with that magical finale of the day, my day at Disneyland came to an end, and honestly it was such a great one. Soon after, I headed back to the hotel, and now you guys are joined with me on the next day. I'm off to the airport because I have to catch a flight. At the airport, I made a stop at the Starbucks there, got some wrappers, and then I also made a stop at this place called Shanghai Delights at the airport and got some poke as well as some Yan Yan chocolate dips, which were pretty good. And then I was headed back to Chengdu. The reason why I'm saying back to Chengdu is because before coming to Shanghai, I was at Chengdu, so that's why. And now I'm going back there again. Chengdu was super fun as well, but I couldn't vlog it for you. However, I did get some footage and I will be sharing the highlights with you. So let me start sharing the Chengdu highlights. One of the most exciting things I got up to at Chengdu was to head to the Happy Valley Halloween, and this was an event that I went for during my initial couple of days at Chengdu, so it was a really exciting note to start off my vacation with. Happy Valley Halloween, as said in the name, it's Halloween celebrated at this location known as Happy Valley. And basically Happy Valley is a location that is a theme park, but for Halloween nights they go all out in providing an immersive Halloween experience. There are all these people dressed up in spooky outfits. I mean, I dressed up for it myself. There were some very creepy haunted houses and I tried out a couple of them. There were skulls all around, and yeah, they had gone all out with the creepy Halloween decorations in every corner of Happy Valley. There was the spooky theme going on. It was honestly a very immersive Halloween experience, and it was Halloween very, very well done. Another exciting location I visited at Chengdu was this mirror wall location, and this place had trippy mirrors all around in individual rooms, and all the rooms were decorated differently from each other with so many visuals. There was rooms with the ocean theme, planetarium theme, the starry sky and the moon, and you could take as much pictures as you liked. I've seen this kind of places on Instagram and TikTok, so it was my first time visiting here and I was so excited to do it. It was a very cool and trippy experience. I tried out so many food items at Chengdu. Definitely went all out on the dumplings, had strolls through their beautiful streets, and even at this restaurant I again had dumplings and also tried out their katsu curry, which I really enjoyed. Then there was theme park day at Happy Valley. Happy Valley, as I said before, not only has Halloween going on but also theme park rides that are amazing. The Happy Valley theme park at Chengdu is a large modern theme park with beautiful scenery, exciting adventures and various entertainment programs. I also tried out kebabs at Chengdu and then headed off to this lovely spot called Man Coffee for breakfast. Tried out the waffles and toast here, which was yummy. Another cool spot at Chengdu was this Harry Potter themed Diagon Alley where I got to dive into the world of Harry Potter. There were items that were Harry Potter themed all around. All the iconic Harry Potter references were there, and they were all subsided to these miniature sculptures. The spell books were there, potion bottles, Ollivander's wands, then this Hogwarts sculpture. You could find the Horcruxes. Of course, I have to mention the Chengdu hot pot where you got to dip and cook the meats and vegetables of your choice in the simmering hot broth. Another highlight is the trampoline park you see here. You can jump around and try out as many activities as they have to offer. I tried out the Dairy Queen ice cream there, tried out my hand at ice skating. Right now what you guys are looking at is Asia's largest sunken shopping mall, which is in Chengdu. It's a really cool location and also a landmark for fashion, tech and art. After a break at Starbucks and trying out their yummy matcha, I then headed off to the Global Mall, or what is known as the New Century Global Center. It's in Chengdu and referred to as one of the largest shopping centers in the world. This right here is Tanghulu sugar-coated fruits. I saw it everywhere here, so I wanted to try it and see what the hype was about. Next up we have Chungshi Road, which is the road right here. It's one of the most prosperous commercial pedestrianized streets here. It has various kinds of fashionable shopping malls, department stores, street stalls, boutiques and modern cafes. I also tried out this mix of coffee and ice cream, which sells as a drink in itself here, and it was really good. I strolled through the streets and was met by so many different locations, different restaurants and stores. For dinner that night, I headed off to Shake Shack and wrapped up the day with having tried a yummy burger and curly fries from there. Moving on from an urban street to a more ancient one, we have Jinli Street right here. This street is a narrow one, and when you stroll through, you find yourself surrounded by old world store folk handicrafts, calligraphies and all that. There's also a Turkish ice cream stand, and this street is usually referred to as the Jinli Old Street. It's the biggest traditional street in Chengdu. It's a place of local food and shops and a good place to eat local food. You can find dozens of food stands. There are plenty of souvenir shops, so it's a good place for tourists. I love Korean cuisine as well, so at Chengdu there was this Korean building with all these restaurants. I made a stop at one of the restaurants and tried out many dishes, starting from their kimchi, and of course then went on to the corn cheese, the fried chicken which was glazed in the most amazing sauce, and had the mandatory tteokbokki. One dish of it was just the tteokbokki and another was tteokbokki and noodles. This is the mandatory shopping run. I went overboard with my try-ons, but when I tried them on, I secured only the ones I liked. I made a couple of reruns to Starbucks because I fell in love with the matcha latte there, and then made a stop at this bookstore to hopefully get my hands on some books I wanted, but they didn't have it, so that's alright. This was all at the Raffles Mall, by the way, I forgot to mention it. Then I also made a stop at the Hot Max here as I wanted to get a bulldog ramen. I was a bit indecisive on which flavor I wanted, so I thought of going for the spicy one, but ended up coming back here again and going for the cheese one instead. I really wanted the carbonara pink one, but it wasn't there, so I got this one instead. And with that, my vlog comes to an end. If you guys want to see more of my journey, definitely do head over to my Instagram and TikTok. The links to my social media are down in the description box, so you can find it here. It was a wonderful vacation and I honestly enjoyed it, and I hope you guys enjoyed this vlog. Also, this is a beautiful picnic spot that made the perfect place to enjoy my breakfast wrap. But on a serious note, I'm wrapping up the vlog now. Do subscribe and stay tuned for more videos, and I will see you all again next time with another video.